All right, good afternoon, East Hampton ARB. We're live on channel 22. We're streaming to YouTube. The phone lines are not open for this meeting. You are being recorded. You may begin.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome to the April 24th, 2025 meeting of the Architects Review Board of the Town of East Hampton. We have 11 applications on our agenda this afternoon. The 12th, which was our last application this evening, has been administratively postponed. There will be a subtle change in the composition of this board effective today. Susan McGregor-Smith and Clara Schiavone will be switching positions. Susan will now be the alternate for the Architects Review Board, and Clara will be a full-time member. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of our last board meeting, which was on April 10th?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? So passed. First order of business is under business signs. It's Connect One Bank, Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-188-1-8.1. This is 100 Pantago Place in East Hampton. And Clara, this is yours.
Thank you, Chip. So this application is to replace 3 existing signs. It's a 2 wall signs and 1 tenant sign at 100 Pantago Place. So the property is located just down the road off of Route 27 next to the entrance to East Hampton Goldbergs. So this first sign we can see is the tenant site, which is fully visible from the Route 27. The new sign, so as of right now it says First National Bank Long Island. And the new sign will be Connect One Bank. In this case, it's going to also have a better place to be underneath it. The sign will remain similar colors. It's going to be light and dark blue, and it's going to remain the same size. If we can, we'll go to the next picture, please. So this sign is on the south side of the building. It's also visible from the Route 27. It's mounted, it's installed directly on the brick wall. The new sign will have a blue lettering that says Connect One Bank, and it will have a rectangular white background. And on the next picture, we can see the third sign, which is on the north side of the building. And this one will be change to switch to Connect One Bank as well, but it will remain a white color, and it's going to be directly above the entrance door. If you can please switch to the renderings showing the new signs. Perfect, thank you so much. So as you see, this one will remain pretty similar. It's going to be a little smaller, same color.
Well, can you blow up the new one? Okay, good.
So on the right side, you can see this is a new sign, just as Connect One Bank. Same color, the letters are pinned directly to the fascia above the entrance door. We can go to the next one, please. This sign, so on the left side, you can see before it says First National Bank, it was just the white lettering. The new sign will have the white rectangular background. So, on that brick wall, if you can zoom it in, please. So it's, okay, and the third sign is just going to replace the current tenant sign. It will remain the same size, similar colors as of right now. I don't know if you have anybody here to speak on behalf of the applicant.
Oh, sure.
That is all already. I have paint samples if you want to see them.
Can you identify yourself, please, for the record?
I'm Bianca from Going Sign Company. So basically, First National is changing their name to Connect One. So we're changing like for the most part.
I don't have anything else to add. I don't know if anybody from the board.
Comments?
That looks great. Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, that actually looks better. Right, you're good? Yeah, okay, so I think we're good.
Perfect, thank you.
So,
Thank you.
thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve this application as presented.
May I have a second?
Second.
Diane, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Frank?
Aye.
So approved. Still under business signs, this is Tony's Grab and Go. It's a modification. Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-49-3-31. And this is 717 Montauk Highway in Montauk. Chris, this is yours.
Okay, this is for a modification to the sign that we approved at a previous meeting, which is illustrated here in this photo. The sign is actually in place, and they've decided to change their name and the logo to Sand Shack. And what they would be doing is just replacing that black panel with a white one with the new logo on it. If you would, if you can show that, there you go. That's their rendering. Very clean and simple, minimal lettering. And I think it's a very simple, great improvement to the sign, and really don't have much to say. That I know that with the name change, all the other stuff that I saw on the property, if you can go back to the photo, that some of those the window logos are going to have to go. Those weren't part of the application, and so we're really down to just approving the change to the freestanding sign. Is there anybody from the applicant?
Hi, sir. Just state your name for us.
Raymond Duran, good afternoon. Congratulations, Clara. I'm the owner of Tony's Meat Market in the harbor, and this will be a second location for us. It's going to be called Sand Shack. We plan on rolling out about a dozen locations. So it's a new concept for what we're doing. It's going to be more of a upscaled high-end sandwich shop for grab and go. And we would appreciate the opportunity to present to you, and hopefully you can grant the sign as submitted.
Good. You ready to open?
We will be shortly.
Okay, good.
For the season.
Okay.
Great. Well,
Good luck.
any comments from the board?
No, I think
I
it's
think
an
it's a great improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And we'll
great.
clean up the whole, it's all going to get cleaned up, the whole building, and the signs are coming down the other side and everything else.
Great.
Great. Well, I'd like to
luck.
make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So passed. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Third business sign tonight is Sport Time. This is Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-166-3-9. This is 385 Abrams Path in East Hampton. Clara, this is yours.
So this application is replace the existing signs at the Sport Time Complex in Amagansett, which is off of Abraham's Path and Town Lane Road. It's total of 4 signs. So this first sign is off of Town Lane. It will, if you can see, if you can go to the renderings, please, Will, to show. So this is the existing design and the logo. The new design will pretty much remain similar. We'll have a phone number. Okay, so this is the design of the new sign all the way up in the right corner. Okay, so the sign on the right, that's going to be a sign located on the Town Lane Road, as well as on the 320 Abraham's Path. And the sign on the left will be replaced on 358 Abraham's Path. And we also have, I believe, underneath one of the logo that goes above the entrance of the actual area with the ice rink, which remains the same size, very similar to the current logo. I don't know if we have anybody here to speak on behalf of the applicant.
Good afternoon, Harry Millard with Hampton Signs.
Afternoon.
Yeah,
Good afternoon.
you covered it very well. That's what we plan to do.
Discussion. Is the,
There's a lot, it's a lot to take in on a road sign, but
yeah. Do you think the phone number is really necessary? It's a busy sign. I mean, most signs we approve don't have phone numbers. In fact, we just convinced one applicant to take a phone number off a deli sign.
yeah, and people are driving in their car, they're not going to be able to note the phone number anyway.
Yeah. Do you think your client would be okay with that?
I can try it
Okay, Frank?
on all 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a world where people stop anymore and take down phone numbers. They can go online and find the phone number.
Yeah.
So the posts are black or?
Yeah, they're black.
So it's the same as
Aluminum.
the original sign.
Yeah.
Oh, aluminum. Oh, that's good. So they don't rot.
Yeah, they won't rot, no.
Yeah, okay, good. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot going on, and especially on that one on the right. It looks like it, sort of one organization that's got three businesses going on. So it's almost like a directory sign. Different graphics, different logos. There's really nothing tying them together. But I guess are these operating fairly independently within the Sport Time umbrella? I guess we don't know. Yeah. And they've got, I mean, I understand there's multiple entrances and exits to the building, therefore you need multiple signs on the two roads and different events happening at different ones. So I guess it is in a way kind of like a directory sign.
Yeah, the one, I believe the one on the right, the difference will be the sign for the camp, right? One of them is an entrance for the parking, and one of them is like a employee parking area for the camp drop-off.
Yeah, and then the other one that's on the building front on the other side of the road is very far away, and it's really a non-event for the.
Yep.
I mean, in terms of wayfinding for this compound, it's
very easily accessible, and there's not much. There's the youth camp, the youth park, and that's about it. So it's fairly easy to find, but. These are definitely a little more aggressive colors than the previous version. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has anything to.
Frank?
Well, I was noticing on the existing signs that the existing sign, the signs hide the posts. Mm-hmm. And so it's actually kind of nice. And whereas this one, am I correct that the signs are, like the posts are in this case, the signs are like sleeved between two posts, is what it looks like.
Yeah, they are, definitely. They're spaced in between the center of the post, yep.
Okay. I mean, I actually kind of like the way it's right now, where it's, this is really getting into the details.
Can we see that slide again of the existing?
Do you see how the post, it's sandwiched between the signs? Right. Whereas now what's being proposed is the posts are just so black.
And it's pretty,
They're only 3 inches wide, the posts. And then secondly, it would add a lot of cost. Because now, because we're using one board for a double sign on both sides, right? Now, if we do that, we got to do double the signage.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Like that sign there would become 6 boards.
Yeah. I think if we could get rid of the phone number, I think most of us would be happy. All of us would be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you get rid of the phone number, you save more money.
Yeah.
Well, the original sign's much easier to read and
the original sign
much more clear what it is,
But
okay.
Yeah.
So Julie, how do we do this with this?
You can approve it.
And take off the phone number?
The condition of no phone numbers, and we'll write that on the resolution.
Okay.
That good for you, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Just one question, clarification are these posts going to remain the same? Or are they new posts to replace the
No, brand new post.
brand new post? So the spacing is out to out relative to this.
Almost exactly the same.
So the signs are the same size,
Yep.
and then the posts are outboard of that. So it's
Yes.
in fact 6 inches wider than this.
Yeah, but not
Okay.
even quite 6.
But
Five and a quarter.
the sign size stays essentially the same.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, Diane?
No, it's fine. I mean,
I think we're good, Claire.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would like to approve this application, but the phone number on the bottom of the signs
Be removed.
to be removed.
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
Do you have
with the
a
understanding
second?
that the phone number.
Right.
Second?
I'll second.
Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, moving right on to change to commercial. This is a modification at 71 South Emerson Avenue in Montauk. This is Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-50-1-14. Chris, this is yours.
Okay, this is 71 South Emerson in Montauk, right near the beach and right near town. They're renovating these buildings as we've approved. This is work in progress. You can see the hardy plank siding is up, and in some places it's being painted. Windows have been replaced. The roof is on. So work is well underway. And what they're asking for is to add some stoops and treatment of stairways from the upstairs walkways, very much in keeping with the rest of the approved materials. Here you can see the existing wooden stair and wooden railing, and you get a hint of the cable railing with the black metal on the right there, which is what they're proposing. So these decks are all going to be with Ipe decking, white trim, black metal post railings and cable rails. So that's the language of everything else that we've already approved. So it's really a continuation of that, and I really don't see a problem. But they needed to just come back with specific stoops here on the back side, which is the north side of the building, to get out from these back doors of the units down. And so we're talking about these little stoops, and we're talking about the stair on the left there, where you can see the white trim, black metal frame on the cable rail system, and Ipe steps and stoops there. So, I mean, did I pretty well cover it?
Yes, very well. I just wanted to remind the board that we also changed architects, so the reference has to change in the modification.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay. Comments?
Any
What's the
thoughts?
fascia color under the roof?
I'm sorry?
The fascia color under that roof?
That roof is actually not a very accurate color rendition. If you can show the photos, some of the photos,
It looks orange.
it's a pale gray, almost white roof. Can't really see it in that one. There you go. That's the roofing color is very light.
And we previously approved.
Yeah, I mean, this is all what I saw there now is pretty well in keeping with what we approved. So it's just a continuation of that.
Claire, you guys?
Right.
Okay. I think we're good, Chris.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'd like to make a motion to approve this application as presented.
Second.
Second.
Clara, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So passed. Thank you, Lori. Still under change to commercial. This is Sunscape Condos, Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-49-2-1.1. This is 167 South Emerson Avenue in Montauk. Diane, this is yours.
Yes. Well, this is the application we just saw was 71 Emerson. This is 167 South Emerson. And it's a series of residential complexes. This one that is before us now is a condominium, a private condominium residence. And it sits amongst, let's see the other pictures. It sits among several complexes. The difference is most of the others around it have already been upgraded or spruced up, whatever you want to call it, and they are catching up. So where you see these shingles that are sort of dilapidated, they are asking to have them replaced with cedar shake, and they are asking to replace the wooden railings with Trex white railings, and replacing several of the distressed decking boards, of which there were quite a few. So anyway, it's a improvement all across the board, and I think there's one more picture that shows their neighbor. Yes, this is their neighbor right across from them, and I think they're adopting the same railing situation, and they're sort of keeping up with the neighborhood. So I think it's a perfectly good, a big improvement. Is there anybody here?
Sir, come on up. Hi, just please identify yourself.
Yeah, I'm Nikos Haralambous. I'm the contractor.
Okay. And did we capture what's going on there?
The railing is not gonna look exactly like that. I have a picture of the railing if you want me to.
Sure. Because there were no illustrative things in your package, so
It's going to be a composite.
it's called Trex.
Yes.
Trex.
It's like the,
So this is the railing.
Uh-huh.
oh, a standard old-fashioned railing.
Yes.
Yeah, vertical, okay.
And I have here,
But these guys, let these guys see it.
sorry.
Okay, I only raise the issues like, concern is, okay, what if this gets a CO 3 years from now? Like,
We need a picture of the railing.
we need a picture of the railing, we need documentation, some documentation about this railing.
Usually you give us all this
I
stuff,
already provided.
but we don't soon have the picture.
Well,
I
it's not,
sent with, when I sent the specs with like the whole package.
It should be in the package, the specs for the railing.
well, maybe. A tiny little survey. They're not in my copy.
Let's see here, hang on.
You might have to send it again. There might have been a malfunction or something. I don't know.
I'll look in the office tomorrow, I'll tell you if I need them again.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, I do have the siding that we're going to use.
Okay.
So this is not the color, but this is the profile,
Mm-hmm.
and this is gonna be the color. It's very similar to what they have right now, but it's not gonna be a natural wood.
What color is it?
Sterling.
So if this isn't in the file, we're just going to have documentation on all this
Okay,
stuff.
so.
Yeah, it's not in the
Yeah, you can work with Julie on it, sure.
It's not in the electronic files either.
Okay, I don't know.
So-
what happened.
Is this currently has these shingles or this horizontal side wood boards?
Right now it has, no, it's a regular cedar wood shingles right now. And it's gonna be the same profile, but, the composite.
So composites shingles that look like cedar shingles?
Yeah,
There's a picture of, a really
Exactly
good
what
picture of
I-
the shingles.
it's exactly what I have here.
Well,
Okay, okay,
But a different color. The color is actually very close to what they already have there.
okay, got it.
Can we just go through the photos again?
yeah,
of the-
well, yeah, there's a good
So I just
image
get
of
an
the,
idea of how this is gonna.
that's existing. And that's the neighbor.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need the material spec and the color, just so that as Frank has mentioned here, we have a record of this so that we can be checking when it's time to go for the, when the project's been finished and we're supposed to go back and review that things have been done in accordance with.
Will I have to come back again?
You would,
Just provide the information?
Yes,
Okay.
okay. So Nico's,
So, and just so it's read out today, what the name of that color is, what the,
Yes. So the siding is gonna be, sterling gray,
Sterling gray.
and the railing is gonna be white.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And as far as you mentioned the decking.
Yeah.
I think when I presented the project, I said that there is a possibility we replace some of the decking. We currently don't have any agreement with them that we're going to do it, but I gave them a price in case they want to do it. So that's why but it's not guaranteed that it's gonna happen. The railings on the balconies we're gonna do, but not for the decking, we don't have any agreement
yeah,
yet.
so that won't be part of this application tonight. 'Cause-
Well,
you
I
can,
mentioned
you can
it.
get it approved
Yes, I
and
mentioned
you
it.
decide not to do it. It would seem that you'd be better off trying to get that approved now.
Yeah, I think couple of the homeowners, they said that they definitely want to do it, even though I don't have anything in writing yet with them.
Uh-huh.
So I gave them a price because they are all the same size, all the balconies. And, anybody who wants to do it, we want to proceed and do it at the same time. That's why, I I mentioned it.
The same kind, the same material?
Well, currently, I think some of the, at the front where the parking lot is and they have those walkways, it's wood and it's not being replaced. That's not the ones I'm talking about. Those balconies you can see in this picture, I think most of them, they already replaced it with composite. I think. I didn't look at them, but that's what they said. I mean, a couple of them maybe they didn't, and they want to change it with a composite decking.
We'll need a new application for that.
Yeah, because so Frank, if we put it in the application tonight in the resolution and they don't do it, and then when they come before us, we're going to have a resolution that hasn't been adhered to, which is the problem I had with this other application. So once we put it in there,
So you'd have to put a change to the
we have to put a
resolution.
change or modification.
I mean, it's noted in the application that you discussed, you wrote down exactly what you're telling us, that there's a discussion about it among the owners and they haven't approved it, but it's listed as enhanced naturals, Trex, composite decking.
Yes.
Color, which is foggy wharf.
That's a great color.
Light gray color.
Light gray color.
So there's record of it, but whether it's done or not, I think is more of an issue to be.
I think if you're going to do it, come back to us in the future.
Okay, now, after, I'm gonna need a permit after this is approved here. Okay, what's gonna happen with the, if I need to replace some of those, I have to come here and then apply for a new permit?
You could modify the resolution, right? You could come back for a modification of what we've approved.
Okay.
Instead of a brand new application.
How about the permit? Will I need the permit?
Modify your building permit as well.
Okay, all right. All right.
Okay.
And I think, is there anything happening on the windows?
No, we're not, we didn't agree to any changes to
it's not
windows,
mentioned
no
anywhere.
any light fixtures outside, just the siding and the railings. That's the only agreement we have.
I see.
And are the windows in good shape?
Um,
Because generally, all this gets done at once and previously.
I understand, and the owners, they mentioned that eventually they might want to do it.
Okay.
And I advised them that this is the right time, but because there are 8 different homeowners, maybe even more, it's 8 units, but some of the units, it's like 2-3 people own them. So I guess they don't agree and they don't have, I'm not sure what's going on.
So when they agree, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, definitely we're not doing windows right now.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's a through body material. In other words, if you cut it, it's the same color. Right?
For which?
For the shingles,
For the
sorry.
shingles, yes.
Okay, because you're gonna have to cut them for the windows. Yeah.
I understand, yes.
Okay, Dan, let's go.
Okay, so I think I would like to make a motion to approve this application to replace the cedar shakes with sterling gray siding and the railings with Trex white traditional railings.
Second,
I'll second.
Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so passed, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Last item under change to commercial is Bluff Crest Cottages. This is a modification. Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-17-1-5. This is 80 Firestone Road in Montauk. Frank is going to recuse himself because of a client relationship, and Susan McGregor Scott will step in his place. And Chris, this is yours.
Okay, so this is a modification to an approved application that's before us for these 4 cottages up on the bluff looking over Fort Pond Bay, just past the Montauk. What they're doing is basically they are completed, so we have as-built, and there are some changes that have happened since the approval that they're now asking for approval, so that the as-built conditions will match. We'll be able to review it as such when they call for their final inspection. So of the 4 cottages, they have now added basements, which means that there's a stair that goes down to those basements. Cottage 1A which is the first one closest to the road, is the only one that has a glass railing system and a roof deck up there. You can see the stair going up to that roof deck in that photo. That's the only one that still has those. And the changes that they've made are really consist of changes to the decks and the spas that are built into the decks. So these spas have become smaller. The decks have become larger, for example, from 578 square feet up to 934 square feet. The spa reduced from 99 to 32 square feet. So they're really very small plunge spas at this point, so, maybe 4x8 or something like that. 578 square foot deck up to 917, 578 up to 883, 578 up to 1,041. So the decks have become more expansive than the original, but there are also some other aspects of this. There's some retaining walls that I couldn't get photographs of because they're really on the landscape downhill side, but they're in the application. They're very attractive Montauk kind of fieldstone retaining walls. There are changes to the walkways, additional walkways of 505 square feet, 255 and 748 square feet. So the walkways come from the parking area, which is up the street, down to the individual units. And obviously, when you've added these stairs, in some cases you have to get to the stairway. 6 small walls have been constructed near some of the units. There again, it's a little bit hard going because this is so heavily planted in here. The landscaping is very dense, and it's not like when the last time I was there for a review of this property, there was nothing except it was a construction site. Now it really looks like a finish. There's the some of the retaining walls that I couldn't get a photo of. So I guess what I was saying is, these are changes to the sizes and layouts to some degree. The overall character of the place is very much in keeping with what we approved. The detailing is very, very nice. I can see some of that, the cubic stone steps down from the decks. In one case, there's a big live edge wood slab stoop to lead up to the decks. That's it's a very attractive compound, beautifully landscaped, very elegant buildings, and I don't see how these changes are really affecting one way or the other. Relative to the character that we approved initially, it's a very lovely spot.
Okay.
Comments, Susan?
I love that.
Answer any questions if you have any.
Oh, do we miss anything, sir?
No, it sounds like you covered it all.
You have to identify yourself for the record.
Sorry, Joel Halsey, Lighthouse Land Planning, on behalf of the applicant, Bluffcrest Cottages at 80 Firestone Road. Joel Halsey, as I said, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer any.
Let's see if the board members have any.
I was just curious if any of these changes are visible from the road. It sounded like there's a parking area and then you walk down from what you were describing, Chris.
Well, it's vaguely downhill, but it's not a real steep drop. It's you pull right in. There's going to be gates that are, I don't know the legality and legal issues of this. They're 4-foot rolling gates, but
driveway gates, or
yeah, the driveway gates. Joel has.
They're not installed yet, but they are 4-foot gates, and they are, whether it be rear or front yard. This is technically the rear yard because it is a waterfront property, but with 4 front gates, it would be exempt from ARB and building permit.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
I encourage that.
Very good.
I mean, it's a double layer of security. I guess you'd have those gates, and then to each of the 4 units, you've got pathways that each have their own coded gate.
No.
So you get out of your car there, and then you have to go through your own gates to
That
your
would be a
own.
good view from the road.
Very individual pathways to individual units.
So
So
those
it's
are
not
the-
like there's
yeah.
the landscaping, you really can't even
See the house.
see very much. But
So those are the different,
100% cleared when the project started.
Yeah,
and
we
now
remember
it's
the pictures.
Densely vegetated.
so those are the pedestrian gates to each cottage?
Correct.
That's right.
Okay, got it. Clara?
I don't have any questions, look great.
Yeah, I'm good. Diane?
Yes, I'm fine. I like it.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great night, guys.
We have to vote on this.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to reject. I'd like to make a motion to approve the application as modified.
Second,
Second,
by Clara, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. So done. See you, Joel. Next item of business is under historic districts. This is Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-172-3-26. And this is 276 Bluff Road in Amagansett. And Frank, this is yours.
Okay, this is an application that came before us 2 meetings ago. The applicant is requesting for approval for a gate on the left side of the photo here. Just to reacquaint everybody, this is in the Bluff Road Historic District, which is why it's under our purview. There are not many gates along this road, as we know. Let's just keep going. So the proposed gate is to be set where the existing gate has been, but the existing gate is not approved. We discussed this at our when this came up 2 meetings ago. This was what was approved to get, or was requested by the applicant for approval. The board pushed back on this and said, please come back with us with a modified design based on our comments. Keep going. Not related to this, but there is a 6-foot stockade fence that says a building permit right now. So presumably this will be taken care of. And
The fence has a permit or doesn't? The 6-foot stockade fence in the edge? We don't know. That's never going to get approved.
correct.
Okay.
We brought that up.
Okay.
And then to note for the board, the location of this gate is not actually the driveway that's really used to the house. So there are actually 2 curb cuts for this gate. So they're proposing this to be 34 feet off the property line. Yeah, you can see it on the left there, and the main driveway is to the right. The applicants really want this gate for it to be a usable gate and also for some privacy for the pool and back. Let's go to the proposed gate design. Right, so they come back to us with this proposed gate design. It's an AZAC painted white. It is what it is. 5 feet high, 4-foot panels. So it's up to us to provide some feedback on this. I think this is a good time.
These are the dimensions. How high is it?
5 feet.
5 feet.
5 feet, and the vertical slats are 1.5 inches and an 1.5 inch space between them.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. Tell us your name.
Tom Cooper, Cooper Construction, 106 Newtown Lane, East Hampton.
Okay. So Tom, anything you want to add or we missed?
Just that, we listened to what you said last time. We took that information and we came back with the proposal to obviously take more than a foot off of the height on the fence. Tried to obviously do the slats so that there was, visual, you could see through it, obviously. So we listened and we thought we came back with the right thing.
Can you tell me each of those vertical slats? What's the dimension? In
1.5 inches.
1.5 inches wide, and how?
And then 1.5 inches in between each one.
And how deep are they front to back of the
thickness of them?
Is it 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches? Is
Yes.
it 1.5 inches by?
Yep.
I see.
Square.
It's square.
It's very estate-like. I mean, it reminds me of an old estate gates, and it may be a little dense, but I understand the fact that you're looking through right at their pool, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I think, this is also set back appreciably within the hedgerow.
I think that's what we really tried to stress last time was that it is 34 feet off of the property line. It's set back quite far. This is, I think, a huge improvement from what they've had there for the past 25 years.
Yeah.
So, that's what we're trying to aim to make it better.
okay. Okay.
I think with the balance of, the cattle grate open driveway is more in keeping with the, with
So
the
guys,
character of the
lawnmowers and
district.
stuff will come in through this gate, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And they are aware that the 6-foot stockade fence in the hedge is probably not going to fly?
I don't think they even knew about that, but I
Just mentioned it, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think I only wish that this were maybe in like a natural material instead of
Same.
white AZAC, but that's my preference. That's just mine.
the natural, they're from England and they aren't here as much and they're only here in the summertime and they obviously don't want to have a maintenance issue. They don't have somebody that really can maintain that. And the AZEC is something that just never rots and you'll never have issue. Just power wash it off and bleach it and clean it up.
We know it well. We know it well. Ben?
It's an improvement.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah, I think it's an improvement over what's there for sure. I think the circumstance of it being secondary and further back, only visible as you're directly in front of that access to the property. I think it helps us to give it a kind of a break from what we would otherwise be kind of frowning upon, which is gates fronting the street. Claire?
Yep, I agree with Chris.
Okay. So Frank, are we good to go?
I'm actually not comfortable with this AZAC, but I understand, we don't always have to vote unanimous.
So in this case, Chip would make the motion,
Correct.
right? And then you guys would vote.
Okay. So I make a motion to approve this application as presented. I have a second.
I'll second.
Chris, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Clara, Diane, Chris? Yes.
Yes.
And
I
I'm
second it.
Okay, I'm in favor, so that's 4-1, so it
Okay,
passes.
wait, and Frank has to vote.
Oh, Frank. Oh, all opposed? Opposed. Okay, so 4-1. Okay, thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you.
Next topic is under agricultural overlays. This is Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-189-4-2.1. This is 62 Hampton Road in East Hampton. Diane, this is yours.
Yes. This is, we have seen this property before us as Mr. Beard has evolved. This is Hampton Road. This is looking in. It's very completely set off of the road. Nothing is visible. And this is simply an accommodation, an application to install a generator. And they've chosen, this is as you approach the house, this is what you see now. This is the house as it evolved. They made several changes, making a studio for the family, moving Mr. Beard's bedroom down to the ground floor. And the generator that is in question is on the other side of this building, tucked in this corner, in the most inconspicuous spot you could ever imagine. The building it's evolved in quite a large way, and nobody would ever see this generator. It's nowhere near the pool or and they haven't made any. I think they're not interested in even concealing it, and I don't see any need that they would need to. Anyway, they've done a lot of landscaping, and I'm sure in a couple months it's going to look terrific.
Yes. Hi, John Chulo. I'm the general contractor. There's actually 2 generators on the property. They're on the survey there.
One was approved, and I don't know if it was approved initially, but it says it was installed in 2022.
Correct.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't
I'm
checked
not
back
sure,
with that.
but this application is for this newer.
So it's for one generator? Okay, okay. The other one must have been before.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's this is a charming house. It's way
Yeah.
underscaled for the lot. I mean, it's,
Yes,
yeah.
and the ag overlay is not impacted in any way, shape, or form. So unless there's,
It's like not visible from the public.
no, it's not,
Right.
not at
It's
all.
a flag lot.
It's a flag lot, yes.
And it's tucked into the kind of the nooks and crannies
These
of the building,
Right.
almost a three-sided,
Yeah, so the building will absorb a lot of the noise itself. So.
yeah.
But I thought we weren't
Well,
concerned with the noise anymore.
we're always concerned with noise.
Oh, we're always concerned, okay.
No, so do we have a picture of the second generator or is it?
It's exactly the same unit. And
Oh, okay.
Okay, because
they've,
there's two specs
yeah,
in there.
there's,
it's actually spec'd out as a
22 kW.
10 or 14 or 18 kW generator from 2022, and this one's a larger one.
Yeah,
Right.
a little bit bigger.
This one's
they're
a
the
20.
same size though, the same
Okay.
footprint.
Okay,
Yep, I don't have anything else to add.
we're good, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to accept this application as presented. Thank
Second.
you.
Second.
Clara, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to extension of times. This is Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-171-2-9.1. This is 267 Main Street in Amagansett. Frank, this is yours.
Okay, this is an application for an extension of time in Amagansett Historic District. This is a single-family dwelling that has fallen into disrepair. This is the north side of Amagansett, just east of the business district in Amagansett. Clearly visible from the street. We approved a resolution on May 24th, 2018 to demolish the existing house, rebuild it in kind with a new small addition in back. So this is clearly like beyond repair, the status. So again, we are granting an extension of time for this resolution. I didn't see any documentation of what the gross of the GFA, and so the small addition, we have architectural drawings, but I'm not sure what the square foot addition for the small addition would be. Also, I would just ask when the applicant come up to explain what how this is expanding. I believe the rear part. Let's go to the photos. The next one. Right. I believe that extension off the back is getting altered, and I believe built up, but it's not really clearly delineated on the drawing. So if I could just ask the applicant to come up and explain that.
And you wouldn't have to worry about the GFA as long as it was submitted before that town code change. I believe it was.
Is there anyone here for the applicant? Sure.
She's not here. I just asked that you put it over. I'm waiting to hear back from her. And if we could just do the other applications and put that one on last.
Who are we waiting to hear from?
Britton Bistrian.
Oh, but she's in West Hampton or something?
She is today. So I'm waiting to hear back from her. On this particular application, I wasn't anticipating to have to speak on it, but I will if I can. So I'll wait to hear back from her.
Okay.
But just ask you to second call it in a way, put it at the end of the agenda, and we'll.
Before you do, I just had a.
So nothing's been done, right?
No, the house is still there. Right?
Nothing's been done, but the board in 2018 approved demolishing the residence and replacing in kind to match with a small addition to the back, on the north of the structure and to the west side. So I would imagine that, all the existing details have been documented, one hopes that, and my only other procedural question is, this was approved in 2018, and that's an awful long time to go without, I mean, normally an extension of time is done in a more timely fashion.
I will say, my understanding, I don't know if this impacts it, my understanding this property was on the market for a while. So someone has purchased the property, and so while it was on the market, it just, the approval just lapsed.
Yeah.
Okay, it was just sold as a lot to be, with this resolution in kind, that whoever bought it could either fulfill the resolution or submit a new application for this property.
And I think I just did hear back from Ms. Bistry, and she just asked that you extend the approval. The owner, I think during this period of time, the owner died, the property was for sale, and it's just sort of been languishing. And I think they just need that additional time. They'll come back with additional plans.
And the new owner's John Hummel, correct? Yeah, okay. So you're Tiffany, right? Tiffany?
I am, sorry. Tiffany Scarlato.
Yes. So,
Sorry.
So Tiffany, if Britton is going to be always unable to come to these meetings, I don't want her on the agenda as the point person. I'd rather have you or whoever your firm decides to send. But having her in absentia, it doesn't help anyone here.
No,
At least have her educate you about an application.
Absolutely. I didn't realize this one was on. I'm on here for the other one. I didn't realize this was on as well, but I'll go over them with her in the future.
Okay.
So we're
I
do
just
that.
didn't-
Thank you.
There are certainly extenuating circumstances, but, 0.5 of the original resolution, as they all do, say it expires in 3 years from the date of its issuance. If a C of O has not been obtained, a new application with the required fees will need to be submitted.
Well, you can, we've had some that are like 20 years old.
Yeah.
This one just expires in 2021. They did pay the fees. All we need is an extension of time.
Okay.
So they can do a modification with new plans for Mr. Hummel.
And quite frankly, we wouldn't be able to get an updated CO.
No.
Given the condition of
No,
the
you
house.
can't.
So,
This is a win-win for the community.
No, I think I just wanted to make sure we're doing the right thing procedurally.
Yeah. We have one next.
Are we then comfortable?
I'm very comfortable.
So the intention is to resubmit plans for what they want to do.
If we approve it, the applicant has the right to demolish this and rebuild it in kind. That's all I mean, whoever it is, that may happen, but we have to, if we approve it, the expectation is this will be rebuilt in kind unless we hear otherwise. With the addition, which I still don't understand which part is, but I guess, yeah, it's just not clearly delineated on the architectural drawings, but if you want to show the drawings, how it's going to change. I mean, and also procedurally, just to let you know, if we have real objections to this, we don't have to grant an extension to it, that they don't have a legal right to have this extended. I don't have any objection with the
Given the quality of the applicant's work and how they're a major force in historic preservation in the community, I would give them any benefit of the doubt.
I am, but I'm just saying, like, we're not legally obligated to approve this.
Yeah.
Right? So if there was something we thought that the previous board that did was egregious and we didn't approve, we don't have to extend. I agree with it, so it does appear that on the left side that it's almost like I think these board drawings are kind of poor in that they don't clearly say what's the existing and what's the new on the same drawing. But I can sort of surmise based on the photographs that, comparing this to the photograph, that the left two windows
are there, and then the second floor is new.
Yeah. I mean, we can check through and say, are the drawings, but we do have record on photographs of what this house looks like in terms of the details, in terms of the windows, the fenestration. So if this ever if they built it in kind and it became contentious, at least we have some photographic documentation.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's got approval to rebuild with white AZEC trim. It's not really in kind.
Right.
It's going to look similar, matching existing columns, Bilko door facing the street next to the porch, which is obviously not there now because there's basement in the works, I'm sure.
Okay, I think we're ready to go. Everyone okay?
All right.
Clara? Diane, okay.
So I'd like to make an application to approve the application as presented.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No, so passed. Still under extension of times, this is Hampton Racket, Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-184-3-11. This is at 172 Buckskill Road in East Hampton. This is mine. So this is an application for 2 extensions of time for a tennis club off Buckskill Road. The resolutions approved, being minor changes to several buildings date from 2018 and 2021. The entire property is in the midst of upgrades and significant renovations. The first extension concerns 2 existing sheds with retractable awnings that are being converted for other uses. The second extension of time concerns removing a sliding glass door, which was here, and replacing it with a hinged colonial revival Dutch door with lower panels and upper glass. And that's the door there in the corner. Applicant states the delays were due to an Article 78 lawsuit filed by a neighbor. Work has now been pretty much completed. I see no reason not to approve these 2 extensions of time, though I'll get into the coloring, and when we get to the certificate of occupancy, we approved a white door in this case, and the entire complex has been painted black, including the store. I don't think it's a big deal, but...
And this is, where is
this? Is in the main clubhouse. It's the back of the main clubhouse.
It's on Buckskill Road.
Buckskill, way back from the road. There's a house actually in front of it, so it's down a flag lot driveway. The applicant like to say anything?
Sure, Tiffany Scarlato, 36 West Water Street, Suite 202 for the applicant. We're here, as you said, for 2 extensions of time. One is the Dutch door, the others are the awnings.
So can we see the awning? Can we see the sheds, Will?
Like the location of the sheds?
The sheds themselves?
I only have pictures of the door.
Okay.
I think that the awnings themselves, there were 3 locations for the awnings. One is on the main building, and the other 2 are on sheds. I think the one on the west side, that was not constructed or taken down after damage due to Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
So one of them was replaced, and the north is existing as approved.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a major upgrade to this facility. The shed buildings are sheds that are becoming other things. What are they becoming, Tiffany?
They're actually all back to being sheds.
They're back to being sheds?
You know, I do have Monica Graham here with me.
Hi, Monica, sure.
Who is now the owner of the property. As you know, the property had been run by her brother, John, who
Sure.
became ill. They then turned management, unfortunately, over to another organization who did things that we are not happy with now.
So you're before a couple of other...
We are here trying in an effort to clean all of the things up, including the things they did last year. And I know it's created a little bit of unsteadiness in town, both the planning board and ARB. It's okay. It's all right. But we're working on trying to resolve it. And I know Monica would like to address you guys very quickly. But as I said, it's just these couple of issues, and we're trying to get as much of it cleaned up as possible and trying to get as many of these outstanding approvals cleared up.
I mean, it's a huge improvement to what's there, and I've been there twice, and the work is every day there's someone working there.
Right, and she's constant, you know, she will tell you she's spent in excess of $1 million already from last year trying to get this property back into compliance from what happened.
Okay.
So it's unfortunate, but we're trying.
Okay, I have no problem with the extension of times. Anyone? Chris?
No problem.
No problem.
Right. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to approve these extensions of time on these 2 applications as submitted. I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so passed. Last item, certificate of occupancy inspection. This is Hampton Racket, Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-184-3-11. This is 172 Bucksville Road, East Hampton. So the only issue I have with this part of it is that let's bring up that Dutch door. Yeah, that's pretty good. So in our initial resolution, we approved a white door, and somebody came and painted the building black. They painted everything black. Tiffany and Monica, any sense of how this building got black?
Yeah, I actually would love to address it.
Sure.
Unfortunately, speak into the microphone.
Oh, sure. Unfortunately, my brother contracted stage 4 esophageal cancer. And I had actually purchased the club for him as a gift, really, because he was my brother, as anybody who knows him, was an amazing human being and, considered a child whisperer. And unfortunately, when he got sick, he trusted one particular individual to help him, run the club where he was battling cancer. He thought he was going to survive. Unfortunately, sadly, he didn't. I was in the city with him at Memorial Sloan Kettering for literally 2 years. I rented a 2-bedroom apartment in the city to be with him. He, in the interim, wanting to help this young man, turn around and, realize his dream, lease the club to these gentlemen. He allowed them to write the lease. It was beyond generous. It was, they ended up saying they had more money than they did. It was a whole long thing. They committed insurance fraud, I would come back and all of a sudden they were told they had to have building permits. They were told that they had to have approvals. I would come back and, in a state of shock, find out that without permission, they just did things.
Did they paint the buildings black?
Yeah, they did. Okay. They painted the building black. They removed
all the buildings black.
Whole building black. Okay, without permission.
Okay.
It's been a nightmare, to be perfectly frank with you.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're at the end of a long cleanup.
I've been, this was, as I said, I bought this for him in 2012. I've been sued, or he was sued, but I paid for it since I purchased the property. I finally got through the building process with the planning board in 2018, only to find out that we had to be repeatedly go to on an Article 78. There was multiple appeals on this. They finally failed with their appeals in the April timeframe of 2023. At that moment, I could not, start adhering to what was agreed upon in the planning process and approved in 2018, because we were, first of all, helping him fight cancer, and, he's dying. And, so I started it in the fall. And when we turned the property over to them, the property was 100% in compliance. 100%. The parking was taken care of, the revegetation was taken care of. In terms of the door, that was approved. We went to the building department, we had the ARB come and look at it.
Yeah, no, I looked at it.
It was signed out.
It was approved. The
Right.
door is fine.
So
just not the
I
color.
was in a state of shock to come back and find the entire, and I had only been there like 10 days before. I came back and the building was black.
Okay. Well, I mean, people can paint buildings black. That's not the concern. So who filed the Article 78? The neighbor on the driveway? Because there's a house that you go in that seems to have all sorts of stuff going on.
But this is okay.
It is public record. Is the neighbor Greg Gordon?
Who's in the front of this?
I believe so. And he's been in litigation with the properties.
Okay.
Since its inception in the 80s.
Okay, I know where this house is. So who controls the house right in front of this that you drive down the driveway that's got pods all over the place and it's a construction?
I literally just bought it.
Okay, good. Okay, so, okay.
We'll work on that next.
That's my next thing.
Okay.
I literally just bought it, and I am in the process of, I am going to
clean it up because it's an eyesore.
Yeah, okay, got it. Because it's all kind of one unit now, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I am going to, if I would invite anybody to come to my home so they can see how I like to have things. If you look at the club, it's visually appealing. So that's the way I like things to look.
I'm your neighbor, and I
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so the only issue I have is that the door was painted black and should be white. We can deal with it. So Julie, how are we going to deal with that?
So when you do the CO inspection, approve the as-built black threshold.
Okay. Diane, do you want to?
Yeah, I just would like to vouch for Monica's good taste in her home and her garden.
Okay.
So I assume her intentions here are of the same caliber.
Okay.
It's for the entire, that's why I bought the property, because I was disgusted with it.
Okay, Chris, you going?
So is this actually that you've done the C of O inspection and that we're?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've only been waiting for a C of O, by the way, since 2013. Just, so in 18, it finally, and we're still now, I'm still waiting for a public hearing for that C of O.
Right.
So.
Fine. Clara?
Yeah, remind me.
Frank?
Sorry I didn't know your brother, but I'm sorry to lose someone like that in our community.
Yeah. Okay. So I make a motion to approve this application for a request for a certificate of occupancy, noting that the white Dutch colonial door is now black as built, and instruct staff to notify the building department that this is ready for a CFO. I have a second?
Second.
Diane, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So passed. Okay.
Okay.
That concludes our meeting. May I have a,
Oh, one was.
I have to vote on the sheds.
Yeah, there's two.
Oh, they get, okay, got it.
2021.
It's all the same. I see. I got it. Got it. Okay. This is under certificate of occupancy, Hampton Racket, Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-184-3-11, 172 Bucksville Road, East Hampton. This is an application to approve two sheds that were used for storage and are still storage. One is painted black, the other is natural wood. They are the same size and shape as the sheds we looked at 6-7 years ago. I have no issue with the sheds. Comments? Okay. So I make a motion to approve this application for a request for a certificate of occupancy and instruct staff to notify the building department that is ready for a CFO. May I have a second?
Second.
Diane, Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So passed. Thank you both.
Okay.
I'd like to have a motion to close this meeting.
So moved.
So moved. This meeting is officially closed at 5:07.